Hello and welcome to MonsterKid Fury. I'm Callie. Here today is Rich from Monster Kid Central. Hey, Rich.
Howdy.
And Rick of Film Fury. Hi, baby.
Hey, we're back. I'm bad. Oh, I guess I can't use the Lethal Weapon 2 line. Oh, well.
No.
How about Kolchak is coming back in style?
There we go. That could work. That could work.
That definitely could work.
So, we have been out of it for a little bit, haven't we, guys?
We have.
It's been a
About
minute.
2 months, 2.5 months.
Yeah.
I think March was the last time we recorded anything, actually.
Yes.
We all had little life issues going on, kids and stuff. So, we are excited to get back into things. What in between any of the rocky roads have you been able to see anything, Rich? Anything you enjoyed horror wise?
I have been bombarded with ideas of movies I should be watching, including from my grandson, who says I need to hop on Sinners.
Oh, the Sinners train, huh?
Yeah. So
Okay.
okay, yeah. I mean, whatever. I'm good with it.
I want to see that, but I hear 50-50 about it. Like one
Right.
is like, "Oh, it's the most amazing thing." And then I hear other people like, "Well, you saw From Dusk Till Dawn, right? It's kind
Yeah.
of the same thing a little bit."
Yeah. Well, he's kind of giddy about this film, so I'm just glad that he's excited about a horror film, which is terrific. And um, I told him, I said, no matter what you go with, I said I'll talk horror movies with you anytime you want. So
I mean, that's probably the coolest thing about it. Like, regardless if the movie's a good movie or a bad movie, it's huge for the horror genre
right,
because the movie was made for I think 70 million and it's grossed over 200 just in the States, I believe, 200 million.
wow,
So, but Ryan Coogler, the director and writer, he has said there is no sequel plans as much as Warner Brothers would like him to do a follow up. So anything outside of him doing Marvel movies is probably a good idea.
yeah. Well, the thing is that a lot of times, you trudge through a movie and realize that there's a kid someplace, in this case my grandson, who's seen it and thinks it's the best thing since sliced bread. So it's very cool.
Well, again, anything that's not, based upon something else that's been retreaded a gazillion times. Because I love going back to old stuff, anyways. But since we can't go back to old stuff and do it well any longer,
No,
we might as well, hopefully just uncover new things out there.
yeah, I think that's it, because I cannot remember the last redo that was even okay. I mean, it goes, if we have to go back decades for that, that's kind of sad.
It's like, what was the last good remake? John Carpenter's The Thing. Oh, that
Yeah,
was The Fly. Oh yeah, that
19,
was a while back.
yeah, The Fly.
Uh,
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I just, I don't know. I don't trust the new filmmakers, and I should. I mean, I really want to.
Well, that's interesting you bring that up because there's two movies that I've seen over the last month that I will say hands down are my favorite movies of the year,
Wow.
but easily are going to be remembered down the line. Uh, Both, unfortunately, are not doing as well as they should. And the first one I want to bring up because Callie can jump in on this one because it's very rare that she likes this type of stuff. And I guess you would say it is kind of shady horror, more sci-fi, but Companion,
Yeah.
from the producers of Barbarian, blew me the fuck away.
Yes.
I had seen the trailer and I'm like, okay, how good is it going to be? I very rarely am I jealous of a screenwriter, of an
Right.
idea, and it is so well handled. It is just the cast is amazing. Everything about that flick, every little twist and turn they do,
Yeah.
it's easily one that's going to be. It didn't do well at the box office, even with the produced by from the producers of Barbarian moniker added to it. It just didn't light the world on fire. It made its money back, so the filmmaker would get to do something else. But
Right.
man, it's so good. I can see Niobe showing when she gets to see it, which I know she's going to love it. I could see her, with college buddies or years down the line, people like, man, I wish there was some cool old movie I've never seen. And she's going to be
Right.
like, have you ever seen Companion? And it is. It's definitely, it's on HBO Max currently. You really got to check it out.
I'm thrilled that people are starting to take notice of the movie. So we shall see.
So it has Jack Quaid in it, and as we know, Jack Quaid's in everything right now. And the funny thing with him is that I don't feel that he's oversaturated anything, at least for
Hmm.
me. A lot
Right.
of what he's doing is really good work, and this is no exception. He definitely does a fantastic job, and I don't want to give anything away in it because I think part of the charm of this movie is unexpected twists and turns. So
Yes.
it is very, very, like Ricky said, well crafted.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what drew me in because I'm not usually a fan of what I would consider slow burns, movies that take their time to introduce all the characters and then get you involved in what's happening. But this one, you don't notice it. The
Yeah.
pacing is very, very good. So I agree. I think it's something that should be checked out.
One of the standouts of the movie is a young actress named Sophie Thatcher. She also starred in The Heretic, a recent A24
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
horror movie. She's definitely one to watch. She's so good, and you can tell she knows her craft, unlike a lot of actresses her age.
Right.
She
Yeah.
goes through a gambit of emotions in this movie, and when you see her, Rich, you'll see why she goes through these emotions. And she's brilliant, and her and Jack Quaid work off each other so well.
Mhm.
If you can detach yourself from Jack Quaid making his dad Dennis Quaid's expressions every once in a while, yeah, they bounce off each other very well. The other movie that I saw, and this is horror, is Bring Her Back. Have you seen the trailers for that yet?
No, but I love the title.
It is from two filmmakers, two Aussies actually, who were known for YouTube comedy videos initially.
Right.
And they made a film a couple years ago called Talk to Me, which sort
Mm-hmm.
of kind of set the horror base off. They were like, oh, it's the most disturbing movie. It's the greatest flick. Uh, my son, my oldest, just went gaga over it. I watched it and I was like, it's all right. It's not
Yeah.
bad. It's a competently made movie, but let's not get crazy here. So then I heard these two filmmakers had a follow up called Bring Her Back. Saw the trailer, and it was such a great trailer because you know what it told you, Rich?
What?
Just enough. It didn't tell you the whole damn movie. It didn't give you the finale in the trailer at all. And we went to see it. It was myself, Derek, and Nye. We went to see it. This is easily, Rich. This is going to go down with Blair Witch Project, with all the films that we love. It will have that type of stature. It
Really?
is
Oh,
simply
sign me
amazing.
the hell up.
Simply
Shoot.
amazing. It's about a brother and sister who lose their father and are forced to live with a foster parent. And you learn the
Okay.
foster parent has lost a daughter to a drowning,
Uh-huh.
and it just goes into insane. It is just so freaking good, man. It
Oh, I
there are
can't wait.
moments in it. There are moments in it you are going to squirm in your seat. Derek was squirming. Niobe was grabbing my arm and hitting it, going, "What are we watching?" It is some of the most goriest things we've seen in film recently.
Yep.
But this is where these two guys are brilliant. As much as you're squirming, as much as you're jumping, as much as you're disturbed by the imagery, there are moments of heart in this movie that just bowl you over. Like you can't believe you went from, oh my God, I'm scared to death, to, man, I think I'm tearing up right now.
Yeah.
Just two guys. The disappointing part is Talk to Me did really well, made a lot of money for A24. This, it's not doing too well. It's probably on its last legs of its theatrical release, so you'll probably have to catch it on streaming. And I find that very unfortunate. And this is an argument you and I have all the time. our fan base, the horror community, how many times do we hear this bullshit about, oh, there's no good horror movies out. I wish they still made good movies. But then they don't go to A Doctor Sleep, or they don't go to this. And it's like, you guys are missing out. You have to turn out for everything. You do. Because if you love the genre that much, you're going to hit a good one.
Yes.
And you don't want to hit it after the fact.
Right.
You don't want to watch it a year later and go, man, I guess I should have saw that in the theater. It would probably help those particular filmmakers quite a bit.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I hope these two guys, who are brothers, by the way, these two Aussies, I hope they have a third horror film lined up, or just a film that they want to do. I
Right.
don't want to see them get picked up by a big studio. I don't want to see them get sucked into the Marvel train.
Right.
Benson and Moorhead did that, two very talented horror filmmakers, and now they just do Marvel TV shows, which to me, I'm sure they're getting a fat paycheck, but it's beneath their skill set. They are so much
Right.
better than what they're doing, and I would hate to see these two brothers kind of go that route.
Yeah, and hope that they don't want to go that route.
Yeah,
See, that's the
but it's
other
hard,
thing.
man.
It is. Yeah. I mean, shit, turning down you're turning down a fairly big paycheck not to do a Marvel movie because that will pay you quite a bit. And the next thing I think you slip into there is, well, you know what? This will fund the next 2 years for me. So I'll do this and then I'll find my way back. And unfortunately, they don't.
Well, the couple that directed Captain Marvel were very smart, because they had done an independent film called Mississippi Grand, which was a comedy about gamblers, and they took the gig. I heard an interview with them, and it was very funny because they don't know anything about comic books. They did their research, they read the character a little bit, and they were like, "Well, we can make this work." And the thing they explained is, really, they're telling you to do everything anyways. You got Kevin Feige, the head of Marvel, saying, well, this is what you're going to do. And we have an effects person for this. And, oh, you don't have to worry about the action. We have a choreographer. They'll go ahead and set it up. So really, they just need someone there to say action and then
Yeah.
blame if the movie doesn't work out. But they took their paycheck and turned it into a movie called Freaky Tales, which
Hmm.
is out currently with Pedro Pascal. And
Yeah.
it looks great because it's a movie that takes place in Oakland, California, which I'm quite familiar with when I lived in Alameda as a teenager during the early 90s. So it looks really great. So they're an example of how you can, ride the Marvel train to continue your own thing, as opposed to staying on that train and kind of losing a little bit of your creative soul.
Yep. And you know something, if the money's good, that's just a bitch to walk away from.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. And speaking of guys who did that, all right, this is tangentially connected to horror. I'm really upset with what's going on with James Gunn right now. As most of the listeners know, James Gunn started out in horror. He wrote the screenplay for the Dawn of the Dead remake. He wrote the screenplays for the Scooby Doo films. He wrote and directed Slither. He worked for Troma, wrote Tromeo and Juliet. So
Yep.
this is a guy who went from the down and dirty to he's now running the DCU film studio.
Yes.
Now, I was all on board for this. When I heard about it initially, I'm like, you know what? That's a good move. Let him do it, because he wrote and directed Guardians of the Galaxy, one of the greatest comic book movies. Oh, and not even comic book movies, just one of the greatest movies ever made. I
Yeah.
remember seeing Guardians for the first time, and I was like, this feels like Star Wars. This feels like the type of stuff we grew up with.
Yep.
Part two was okay. Part three really didn't, do much for me at all. So I'm like, okay, but this guy running a studio, he's a filmmaker. So anytime a creative's running things, hey, we should be good, right? Well, he decided he was going to go ahead and do the flagship character of Superman as their first film production.
Hmm.
Great idea. I love me some Superman. But he chose to write and direct it. And immediately I was concerned. And it's not because of him being an incompetent filmmaker. He's a particular type of filmmaker. He just has his own shtick that he does, and you can see it in any of his even in his horror work. Slither has that quirky dialogue,
Yes.
those little funny things that characters say. You see that in Guardians, obviously. Then when he did Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad, the follow up to Suicide Squad, it feels like Guardians again, except he's using DC characters.
Right.
You see it in the Peacemaker show, same thing. And now apparently this has happened with Superman, to the point where Warner Brothers stepped in after test audience saw it and said, there's way too many yucks going on. That's not what Superman is. That's not the character. That's
Right.
not the vibe you give off. So they've cut the film, and the screenings are still debatably good. And a lot of the new trailer, it's just stuff that I'm like, Superman shouldn't be getting his ass kicked all the time, first of all. Because he's, last time I checked, Superman.
Right.
Furthermore, he shouldn't be making jokes all the time. That's not him. He's the kind that says, things like, no, Luther, you're not getting away with this. It's just this old school kind of manner.
Yeah.
But the other thing bothering me with him currently is his ideas on what next movie should come. Like he criticized Marvel for putting too much stuff on the plate. Like, you can't schedule 14 movies in a row, except he did that very thing. They started
Exactly.
shooting the follow-up is Supergirl, which is already shot. They shot it in the middle of Superman finishing post-production. And it's like, shouldn't you wait and make sure Superman's well? Because what you're forgetting is we are at a point where, unfortunately, I think there needs to be a break put on the superhero genre. And the
Yeah.
reason I say that is, one, the movies have been made too poorly. They're not accurate to the material that they're coming from. And we saw Thunderbolts in theaters because now I wanted to see it. I wanted to check it out, and Callie came with. And it's an incredibly well-made movie. It is so unlike any other superhero movie. It was a joy to watch,
Right.
but it didn't do very well. And it wasn't due to lack of people liking it. It had the highest critics reviews. It had the highest Rotten Tomatoes score of any Marvel movie in recent history, but it just didn't do anything. And I think that's because people are like, no, I'm good. I'm done with that now. I
Yeah.
don't need to see it anymore. And Gunn is doing that. And he went ahead and announced that there was going to be a Clayface movie, which I got excited about. He's my favorite, one of my favorite Batman villains. It's just
Uh-huh.
such a great character. And I was like, that's great. And then I was like, then I heard that Mike Flanagan wrote the script because he loves the character so much. And I'm like, holy shit, you got the director of Doctor Sleep, the creator of Midnight Mass. This is great. This is wonderful. Gunn was like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this. It's gonna be on a tight budget. It's gonna be wonderful. Flanagan starts talking about the storyline because Clayface is gonna be an actor who uses his abilities to get revenge on the people who did him wrong. So you got a theater of blood kind of feel going on.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is great. And then Gunn said in a interview recently that, oh yeah, we're gonna do it, but we're rewriting the whole thing and Mike's off the project. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You took one of the most notable horror filmmakers right now.
Yep.
Debatably the only guy who can adapt Stephen King outside of Frank Darabont properly,
Yeah.
and you're going to rewrite his stuff.
Yep.
Furthermore, they've hired a screenwriter who does dramas. It's a guy who's never done anything genre before. So it's
Right.
like, to me, Gunn is just making bad choice after bad choice, and I don't get it. He even said in a Rolling Stone magazine that, oh, and you've worked in the studio system, Rich, so I'm pretty sure you'll agree with me here. He made the comment, well, Superman doesn't have to knock it out of the park. I don't need a home run. We'll take a double. We don't even have to make that much money. I'm pretty sure the board of directors at Warner Brothers is like, you better make some motherfucking money with this movie.
Right.
Otherwise, we're ending the DCU. We're just not going to make any superhero movies for a while.
Right.
But I don't understand. I don't know if it's gone to his head. I don't know if the ego is inflated to the point where he just I mean, look at the advertising for the new Superman movie. How many times do you see James Gunn's name on it? It's all over it. The guy has put himself in Superman comic books now.
Right.
There's a Superman issue. I saw the cover the other day. It's Superman like this and James Gunn next to him. It's like, dude, you're not fucking Alfred Hitchcock. You're
Right.
not Steven Spielberg. Are you a competent filmmaker? Yes, but who the fuck do you think you are? The movie is about Superman. It's not about you. It's not about your ego. You know? So it's just it's so frustrating because he's one of us. He's a horror guy.
Yep.
And these are the things you always want to see happen. You want to see the horror guy go out there, knock it out of the park, and be just like, yep, and this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And it's like he's just become like the biggest studio prick. He's the stereotype of a producer director now, and it's so frustrating to me.
It is.
Yeah.
First of all, this Superman snuck up on me. I had no idea it was because I happen to think because of Superman's power and strength and everything along those lines, it's kind of boring. As
Right,
you know, my guy is Batman.
right.
No superpowers, just a gadget guy who wants to make sure that the bad guys don't win. And so that's why I'm a Batman guy, because the truth of the matter is you can't do anything that's going to knock Superman out. I mean, yes, they did, and they did the whole thing where he had the monument and that kind of stuff, but I didn't buy it for a second. It's like, no, this is Superman. I don't care what the hell you do to him. It's not You're not going to win.
See what I like about I love both of those characters though, because to me they're the perfect yin and yang.
Yes.
Superman is what, in a weird kind of way, you want to achieve. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do right all the time, never gonna do wrong. Very inhuman, I guess you would say. But
Yeah.
it's something to look at and go, yeah, I would love to be that. But Batman's the more realistic part, which is like Superman could watch Lois Lane be murdered by Luthor and be perfectly fine with putting him in prison. Batman would be like, "Oh no, you're dead. You're gone. You're
Yeah,
finished."
exactly.
And
Exactly.
that's why I love Batman and the fact that he is human. He can get
Yeah,
his ass beat. It's there's stakes involved. If Batman gets
exactly.
into a throwdown fight with 20 people, okay, it might get a little hairy depending on the situation. And you know what Gunn said in a Rolling Stone interview? Are you ready for this? And this pertains to Batman
What?
because everyone's asking, why aren't you doing Batman? He said Batman is his biggest issue right now. The best Batman stories have already been told. What are you talking about? What do you mean the best have been told? Outside of Tim Burton's Batman and Batman Returns, everything else has been done poorly. Batman Forever, Jim Carrey was a great Riddler. Tommy Lee Jones was not too hot as Two-Face. And the movie, Joel Schumacher just didn't know how to deal with Batman.
No, because they're steering it back towards the '60s TV show,
The
and
campy
it's
factor,
like, no,
exactly.
I don't want that. That wasn't my Batman in 1966, and it sure as shit isn't now. My
And
Bat,
I enjoyed Batman Begins,
yeah,
but it still doesn't feel like Batman could truly, it doesn't feel like the books. It's more of Nolan's attempt to do Batman in a realistic way across the board.
yep,
So really, for Gunn to say that the best Batman stories have been told, it's like, have you ever even read Batman? I
yeah.
don't
I was
think you
gonna
have.
say, I'm relatively sure they have not.
I
So,
think people who read Frank Miller's The Dark Knight would go, no, there's other Batman stories that you're missing out on.
yep. I would absolutely love to see a Death in the Family turned into
Oh,
a
that would be
movie.
great.
You know,
And Robin is a character they can't get right to
no,
to save their life, and they always eliminate him from the stories now. Like, oh well, we don't need to put Robin in the movie. It's like, no, it's a key element to Batman's character.
yep,
Why because how fascinating is that, a character who is bent, who has issues, who goes out dressed like a bat to fight crime because his parents were murdered in front of his eyes as a child. Why would he bring in a child into that world? to
Yes.
become his sidekick. That is a fascinating psychological dynamic which hasn't been explored, and they can. But as far as James Gunn's concerned, it's my biggest issue. All the best Batman stories have been told.
What a shame. So it's going to be basically it's going to be a dry period for me because I'm not going to, I don't go to many superhero movies. I'll go to
Mhm.
anything Deadpool. I will go to anything Batman, but that's like to my detriment. That's what it's turned into. To get back to horror for a second, I've made no bones about the fact that if you title something Night of the Living Dead, I'm buying it. Period. I don't care if it's puppets. I don't care. I mean, I just don't care. I buy it. So as they have done the different versions of Night of the Living Dead, and I'm not talking about Savini's, I'm talking about the ones that really have um, that take place because it's in the public domain. The
Mhm.
title, um, and it's
Night
like,
of the Living Dead 3D.
yeah, that kind of thing. It's like, but I'm a sucker for it. Well, I'm a sucker for anything Batman, and I will find good things to say about every movie. When we were talking about the Pattinson, the last one, um,
Mhm.
the first thing I told you was you've got to see the trailer because he he beats the shit out of somebody, and it's just great. It's like rapid fires, 5 punches in the face, and it's
Yeah,
like, I love
that
that.
was like my favorite. That was my favorite part of the movie. The rest of the
Mine
movie, I
too.
wasn't. Yeah, that I enjoyed a lot. But
Mine too.
they're
It's
ver-
yeah.
uh,
There's no better representative of you've chosen to fight the wrong guy because you're going to get hurt. And he
See, if
does.
they
And
had
it,
just gotten the rest of the movie right, though,
yeah,
if they could have done everything else, because that shows the intensity of that character. That
absolutely.
shows his need for vengeance and to just unleash all this angst.
And he did a good job. I mean, well, and that's what I mean. That's the other thing. The community um, is never happy with the choice anyway of who's
Yeah.
playing who. I mean, it goes all the way back. You're having Tim Burton, you know, direct a movie with Michael Keaton as Batman. Are you out of your mind? Michael Keaton's a comedic actor,
He was
and
not well received at first.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
he
and
blew it away
Burton,
though.
but Burton had the right answer. He said, "I don't know that Michael Keaton is Batman, but he's certainly Bruce Wayne." And I
Oh
went,
yeah,
"Okay, so
he did both though.
that's an interesting way to look at it. In plain words, if I
Mhm.
can't make you believe in Bruce Wayne, you're sure as shit not going to believe in Batman." And then Michael Keaton comes in and kills it. I mean, he did a great job to the point
When
where
he's do when he's Bruce Wayne, he's easily the most charming of all the Bruce Waynes that
absolutely.
have hit film. It's like, it's Japanese. How do you know that? Because I bought it in Japan.
I'm certainly hoping that at one point they will take all the good things that I loved about the other movies and just get this right.
Well, I
So
think the key is, once again, it's that thing we've talked about before. Get the right people.
yeah,
Get someone who loves that character. Or better yet, just get people who write comic books and get them to write the script. Let
right.
them take a stab at it, because hiring screenwriters, you're getting what, maybe an 80-20 split, 20 for the good
Yeah,
for the most part. So why not just bring it? What's it going to hurt? You know,
exactly.
uh, go back to the Batman of the late 70s and 80s, especially the early 80s, when, it was really reflecting the crime rate of the time and everything
Mhm.
else. The influx of drugs into the United States, it created an extremely, dark version of Batman. Bring someone in to do that. Get
Yeah,
Joe Carnahan, who directed Narc and Smoking
mhm.
Aces. Get him to come in and do a Batman movie. You would
That
get
would be
something,
fascinating. Yeah,
extremely intense. You know,
yeah,
and but
and
going,
I'm on board with that.
oh yeah, definitely. But quick Verge before we move into something else.
Wasn't this
I've
a
heard
Verge? Because
yeah, I guess it was. This whole episode is a Verge. Let's be honest. But
exactly.
the Batman, I remember people defending that so much. It's like, well, Batman is the world's greatest detective, and we're actually seeing him detecting. And I'm like, well, he's kind of walking around for the most part, is all he's doing. And the world's greatest detective didn't know Spanish. He had to ask the Gotham City officer what a, or no, it wasn't the Gotham City officer. It was Penguin. Penguin told him what he said. Don't you guys know Spanish? And
Right.
I'm just like, so you're the world's greatest detective, but you don't know Spanish. Okay, fine. But swinging back to Mike Flanagan for a second, Life with Chuck came out
Hmm.
last weekend, based upon the Stephen King. Is it a book or a story? I can't remember.
I believe it's a
But
story. Yeah, it's a
but the
story.
the reviews have been just so great for it because it doesn't fall into Stephen King Salem's Lot territory. It's Stephen King, Green Mile, Stephen King Shawshank, that type of storyline. It's more of a drama,
Right.
and it's got Tom Hiddleston in it, uh, Karen Gilliam. It just or Gillum. It looks really good, and I just hope it's still in theaters. By the time I get a chance to see it. Uh, Flanagan, Flanagan's funny because I think he's a wonderful filmmaker. I think sometimes he's a little inflated by people,
Right.
but I would love to see him do more outside of Stephen King. But the funny part is, even when he does his own stuff, he still comes off like Stephen King
Yeah.
because Midnight Mass on Netflix, which is still on there. I was
Yeah.
trying to get Callie to watch it, and I think she watched one or two episodes because she didn't even get to the best gut wrenching stuff of that storyline. Uh, Midnight Mass would be best described as the best version of Salem's Lot that's not Salem's Lot
Yeah.
because
I'll
it
go with
because
you on that one. Absolutely.
yeah, because the characters are just like out of a Stephen King book. Like if
Right.
you said it was Salem's Lot, if you added the Salem's Lot title to that over that crappy edition version they did a couple years ago that aired on HBO Max, I would be perfectly fine with it. I
Yeah.
would consider it a reimagining of Salem's Lot.
All right. So you watched the remake of Salem's Lot.
Yeah, well, okay, let's define watch. I turned it off after like 30 minutes because it was boring. It looked horrible. The characters were ridiculous. I couldn't do it. Kind of like the one for TNT with Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing there. I couldn't get through that one because Toby did such a great job directing that miniseries. It's almost like it's just not worth giving anyone a chance. It's like let's just not do this again. Just
And
yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's one of those things where I won't even watch most of the remakes. It just it's it's a waste of my time. At almost 70, I would like very much to enjoy the movies, not to watch them so you don't have to, kind of thing. I've done it. I've done it. I actually watched the first and only season of Day of the Dead on on Sci-Fi.
You're a bigger man than me. I don't know how you were able to do
I
that.
I sat through every episode, but I then my column was I did this so you don't have to.
I
But
sacrificed my time
exactly.
and a little bit of my soul so you don't have to watch this crap.
Yeah, but not I'm not that guy anymore. If you want to waste your time on it, that's great.
That's
Wonderful.
our job,
I'm
so that
out.
we can let you know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a firm believer in I'll give something a shot. Like I'll give you an episode. I might even give you two episodes. But yeah, Day of the Dead, I think I was like, yeah, I don't think I need to watch this. I'm good. But
Yep.
when they're introducing, first of all, it's so not Day of the Dead. It's like they borrowed the title is all they did.
That's all they
But when you have characters, sleeping with each other like a soap opera, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't need to do this. I'm good. I'm good.
right. And plus, as you said, Hooper's Salem's Lot is so good. Why try anything else? I mean, I'm going to be disappointed. A remake or a reshuffling or whatever the hell they're calling it nowadays. Um, the truth is, it's not going to be better. than Toby Hooper's Salem's Lot.
Let's say if I was in that position, if someone was like, "Yeah, Rick, you're going to direct a Salem's Lot remake." First of all, I probably wouldn't get the job because they would be like, "Oh, let's try to go back to the book," and I'm like, "Nah, I'm just gonna do Toby's thing. If I'm gonna rip off anybody, I'm gonna rip him off.
Right.
My vampire's gonna look like Barlow. We're just everything's gonna be the same. I may change some dialogue, update it a little bit, but yeah, we're not gonna go back to the original King book, and we're not gonna try to do something a reimagining. No, we're just gonna stick with what works. Let's do that. That
Yep.
probably makes more sense."
And King himself doesn't want the books done scene by scene. He
I think
wants.
he's like the only author who has more quarrels with his books than any other author I've read before.
Yep.
Like in interviews, he always has a problem with something. Like, "Oh yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done this." And it's like, isn't that like what you do while you're writing it? You come through it and go, maybe I should do this.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, I mean, in his defense, sometimes you write something and you're completely oblivious to something, and then the director will come along and see it, and then you're like, how the hell did I miss that? I'm the one who wrote it.
Well,
But
again, that's where Darabont, man, he's the
yeah,
man. He's able to go because I remember reading Rita Hayworth in The Shawshank Redemption in like high school because that was in different seasons, right?
yeah,
I wouldn't say I didn't enjoy it, but I'm like, okay, it's kind of cliched. It's like I get it. You have a character named Red with red hair who happens to be Irish. I'm like, all right, whatever. And that was so great because Darabont was smart enough to go, yeah, but we've seen that before. How can we make that differently? I'm gonna make Red a black guy, and better yet, I'm gonna have Morgan Freeman play him. If they had done that book exactly verbatim, it would have been horrible. And that's what would have happened if Rob Reiner directed it, because he was attached to it for the longest time
yes,
with Tom Cruise as Andy Dufresne.
yeah. Well, there's that. Yeah,
that I that would have been so dreadful. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
See, that's the thing. I'm on board if you want to get a director who's going to treat it differently. I'm on board with that. But when you make the lead character so far away from what he should be or she should be, that's when you lose me, because they show up on screen and you're like, yeah, this isn't worth it. I'm sorry. I'm not doing this.
I'm in the wrong theater. I was here for a good
Exactly.
movie. I'll
Now,
see you later.
to be fair, though, I wasn't 100% sure that David Soul could handle Salem's Lot, because
Right.
you have strong performances, and he's not known, or at least at the time, for those kind of strong performances. He was a
But yeah,
TV
he was Starsky and Hutch guy, right?
right,
Which
and
one was he? Was he
and
Starsky or
occasionally
Hutch?
put out an album where he was playing guitar, which, by the way, did him no favors. But anyway, um, it was
Did he
just
do
one of,
that? Did he do that before he was an actor, or did he do it after, like a William Shatner kind of thing?
yeah, he did it as a William Shatner.
Oh, that's
So
funny.
eh, so anyway, um, but he was really good in it, and the kid was great. I mean, everybody in that in Salem's Lot, you can tell, man. And the funny thing is that, because I had such questions about him, he actually said in an interview, well, sure, you walk on set and James Mason is there, and and Reggie Nalder is there, and yeah, it's a little intimidating, but I do what I do.
God, James Mason was so fucking good in that.
He was he was he was the
This-
perfect conduit between the undead and the people who they had to dupe. So
You'll enjoy Mr. Barlow, and he'll enjoy
exactly,
you.
exactly.
And speaking of things that don't look like how they should at all, uh, Friday the 13th universe dropped a series of press conferences and press comments. Friday the 13th universe is the half of Friday the 13th where Frank Miller is owning that portion. Now, it's very odd to me how this worked out, and I'm surprised it didn't get appealed because I love Frank Miller. Don't get me wrong. If it wasn't for him, the concept of Jason itself wouldn't exist.
Yep.
But the fact that that judge gave him everything Jason, and the only thing Sean Cunningham acquired was the name Jason and the idea of a film on Friday the 13th. Like literally everything created after the original movie is owned by Miller.
Yeah.
So a tech company, I believe it is, a company that deals in multiple properties and multimedia, uh, have gained his blessings to create the Jason universe.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they are going to market as Jason. And get this, they said for everything but movies. They have no plans to make a movie with Friday with Jason Voorhees in it, but they're going to do T-shirts and multimedia things like gaming, apparently.
Yeah.
But this is the new design for Jason, which to me looks like the remake Jason, really,
Yeah.
when you look at the
I
design.
I would say, yeah.
But you are going to shit a brick when you find, because to me, this is a very amateurish picture. This
Yeah.
looks like high school stuff to me.
Yeah.
Guess who designed that?
Who?
Greg fucking Nicotero.
Really?
All I can say is they must have just offered him a shit ton of money, and he did that in an afternoon.
If that long.
Very disappointing. And
Yeah,
there's
it
just
is.
no substance to it. He doesn't look cool. He doesn't
No.
look interesting. It's like, do you want that on a t-shirt or a backpack
Right.
or on a coffee mug? And that's what they're planning to do with Jason. But they're not doing anything film related. The only thing we're going to get in terms of a Friday the 13th on screen is the A24 TV series, which
Yeah.
is now back up and running after they fucked over their writers during the initial process with Brian Fuller. They hired somebody else who seems really gung ho about it. They've hired Linda. How do you pronounce her name? She was in Scooby Doo.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thelma.
I mean, I know
Uh,
her, I just don't know how to
she's
pronounce.
she's um she's oh my god, why am I blanking on his name? Jeremy Renner played him in the Avengers.
Uh,
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
She played Hawkeye's wife in the Avengers
Mhm.
movies. She's gonna play Mrs. Voorhees. So that might be interesting. We'll have to
Yeah,
see.
maybe.
But this is just so disappointing to me.
The thing that I think about this image, it's definitely the eyes. Like they're just not right. And I'm not a fan of Friday the 13th. Like I haven't seen one of the movies all the way through. But again, just knowing what I know about this guy from just images as well as video games that I've played, it's the mask. It doesn't look right.
Yeah.
There's something off about it. And again, I think it's around the eyes. It just, the lighting around it, and it just looks like he's surprised. It doesn't look like he's menacing.
It's like,
Right.
you're there. I'm sorry. I didn't expect you to come in right now.
Yeah.
I haven't made my plan per se on how to kill you, but now that you're here, let's go for it.
To me, it actually looks like the animatronic figure that you could have bought about 5-10 years ago.
Not
It's
even at Spirit Halloween over at Party City or some other place.
right. And of course, I went out and bought it. So it's sitting
Hey,
in a
it's
box.
Jason.
It's sitting in a box in storage. But I'm telling you, if you look at some of the footage and of the animatronic um, Jason, you'll find some stuff on YouTube. And the bottom line is that's pretty much it right there. I would have just said, "Oh, I get it. It's that It's that statue. It's like, no, that's the new design.
I really think Jason came into being a great, movie villain, monster killer once he was undead. That was,
Yes.
and John Beekler, the design in Part 7, The New Blood, to me that's the pinnacle of the Jason image. It just
Yeah, I would agree
he
with you.
he just looks so great. It was the first time they actually took into account all the damage that he had went through all the films. I
Yep.
love how they had cut part of the mask away later. It's just that really is the best version of Jason.
Yep.
And if Miller owns the rights to all these things now, why not just go back with something similar to that? But this, I don't know. I think sadly we're never going to see another Friday the 13th movie. I really don't. But the way it was divided, and Miller, he's kind of up there. I think he's going to make money from these companies that are like, hey, we want to make a Friday the 13th towel, and we'll use your image, and here we'll pay you some licensing for it.
Yep.
And that's it's like Batman in the sense that this is not hard, guys. It's very simple. You can make a Friday the 13th movie on the cheap. You can make it entertaining. You just make it gory and fun. It's a bunch of teenagers in the woods with a killer. What's the problem?
Yep.
Why
And
can't you get this right?
and that always tends to be my um, guilty pleasure,
Mhm.
because I don't think I can sit down and explain why I love them so much, but I do. I mean, it's just it's kind of weird. At some point, you sit there and you say, maybe they should never make a movie again, because if somebody had said that prior to Part 8, was it Part 8? Yeah,
Jason
man
Takes Manhattan.
takes Manhattan. Maybe if somebody had done that before that, we would have been spared. But they didn't. And okay, so now it's part of the lexicon. It's you know, so
See,
you
but I
know,
think that still goes back to the people involved, though. I really think there's some filmmaker out there, maybe not even me, but there's some filmmaker out there who would just have fun with it and
right.
just give you the extreme of all. Because again, it's not rocket science. It's a basic formula. You
Yep.
have a group of teenagers. You get the one character that you like. You have the one bitchy character. You have the jock. You have all that type of stuff. And hey, for better or worse, one of the main draws for those movies were tits and ass. Give the audience some tits and ass, because God knows we don't have enough tits in movies anymore. We don't have enough ass in movies anymore. Just give us that. And you give intense gore, some cool chase scenes. You come up with some good set pieces. It's not hard. It's really
No.
not. And I
No.
think there's some filmmaker out there that would do that, have fun with it. You do it on a low budget. I mean, you're in the middle of the fucking woods. All right, let's say worst case scenario, 3 million to make the movie. It's going to make 50 easy worldwide,
Absolutely no doubt about it.
and you just go out and have fun with it. It's the same thing with Nightmare on Elm Street. It's not rocket science. Wes Craven set up everything you needed,
Yes.
but that remake was fucking dreadful.
Yeah, it
It's
was.
just it's sad, and it's the reason younger generations don't know these characters well, is because they couldn't get people to make these movies enjoyable any longer or
Right.
interesting any longer. And now it's got to the point where, oh, we're not going to make movies, but we'll give you a pair of shoes with Jason on it.
Exactly. Yeah.
you know
So
and whoever
so
thinks of that crap, that would be like you buying Batman because you love Batman. It's like, oh, so you bought the licensing to Batman, you're going to make a Batman movie? No, no, I'm actually going to market some Batman cereal
yep.
and maybe some syrup for pancakes. And it's like,
Yep.
okay. Gotham Grape? No, no, not Gotham Great Rich. No.
No, I don't see. I think if movies aren't made, characters die, really die. You
hmm
know, and there might be now a moratorium for maybe even a decade or more, that it's just not going to happen. And then all of a sudden somebody's going to say, we should do, we should make a Friday the 13th movie. It's like, no shit, really? Yeah, that's a great idea, considering
Well,
you own the property.
See, that's what confuses me. Considering you have a film world run by IP, why wouldn't you go back to something that made collectively billions of dollars over the years?
Yep.
Furthermore, that you can produce cheaper than a superhero movie
Mm-hmm.
or a huge big budget action movie. Just, I don't get it.
No,
It
I don't
seems
either.
like it would fall into place without a problem.
Right.
Yeah, I know. It's very, again, very confusing. I mean, the fact that see, but the sad part, it's like you said, people forget things. It's like Coco. You truly die if people don't, say your name anymore or don't
That's
remember you.
my favorite movie from them.
Fuck those movies. They make me cry. I don't need that. I don't need that at all.
I know they do.
I thought I was fine in Coco. Then it got to that freaking ending, and I'm just like, ugh. She
It's
was
not
already
even the ending
crying
for
before it
me. It's
started
before
happening.
that. But
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
good movie.
I don't
But
know if I ever told you, but during Cinderella's re-release at one point, I had a friend's daughter was a little thing like maybe 5 or 6,
Mhm.
and she was sitting basically on my lap watching whatever it was, Sleeping Beauty, one of those. And at one point I start welling up a little bit because I do that with all movies. And the little girl whispers in my ear, "It's okay. I've seen this before. It gets better." And I was just cracking up. I thought,
That's
"Oh, that's
beautiful.
great." So yeah. Anyway,
you know,
um,
what
I,
gets me is our daughter. She makes fun of us when we cry in movies.
yeah,
She'll look over at me. She's like, "Are you crying?" It's like,
yeah,
"Yes, I'm crying. It's
Oh, that's
sad."
only you then. She doesn't do that to me.
Oh, well, probably because you cry during anime a lot. So she's probably like, "I feel you, mom.
She's
I feel
used to
you."
it. Yeah. She knows. She knows.
She knows it's sad.
wow, yeah,
And that's a very interesting genre because Nai loves it a lot. The only thing she loves more than horror is anime, I think. And it's a genre that I can't crack. The I I don't not appreciate it because it's art. Anything
right,
that's done with intention and it's not done for, negative reasons, you can feel it. And I'm still trying to figure out, though there are some anime I love,
hmm,
Sakamoto Days, which is about an assassin who retires and becomes a
That's not
shopkeeper.
horror.
No, no, it's not. But I'm saying I appreciate the appreciation for it. I
right,
love that show because I love the concept. It's this quirky thing, this assassin who quits his what he does for a living, and then they add little kind of almost supernatural elements. It's so strange. But I love that. I love that show.
yeah,
But I know that especially younger generations, anime is just it. That's their thing. And I
right,
think some of it's good. But I guess you can argue that about any genre. There's good and then there's bad.
Hmm.
I
exactly,
know Callie will start many things and she'll turn it off after like one episode, if
Oh,
not, barely make
absolutely.
it through an episode.
right,
And I I would love to be able to figure out if anime and horror could really sort of meld.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
there's
and
a
I
lot
and
of
I and I know and I know there's stuff out there, but could it happen on a huge level? Like, I mean, like
I
an
think it's there. Again, when you have Netflix bankrolling a lot of the ones that they came out with, like Castlevania, for instance. Oh my god. Not only does it look beautiful, the storyline is amazing.
right,
Again, watching it, I was crying at the end. So it's one of those that, yes, although I get emotional, that one did hit me because of the horror that you went through watching it. Um, what else? One that I watched, surprisingly, it's not horror, but it has horror elements in it. It's called well, there's two of them actually. Pluto. It has to do with AI robots. And
it's very Blade Runner. Yeah, it's got that
yeah,
replicant
very
kind of thing going on.
futuristic. It has all of the elements, and it has the robots themselves. They're so sophisticated, in fact, that we as humans are on the borderline of, oh, are they their own thing now? Are they can, speak for themselves? Does that make them viable to have property, to basically marry amongst themselves? Like, again, it was a very cool and interesting show that gave a lot of things to think about in those terms. But the horror elements of it, again, just you weren't expecting it. It was just
Right.
out of nowhere.
Right.
And that in particular, I think had such great storytelling in it that by the end of it, you're like, okay, I like this. This encompassed everything that I wanted out of it. I feel satisfied with the ending. Another one that I watched that I was not expecting it to be a creep factor kind of show is called Scavenger's Reign, and it is not anime because it's not Japanese animated, but it is animated,
Okay.
and it basically centers around these people getting marooned on a alien planet, and everything that you know about physics and just science gets thrown out the window because there's creatures here that can provide light by taking some of their elements and like smacking them together, and then it glows. And
Right.
like I said, the unexpected horror in this one is that there's a lot of body horror and mimicking and things that crawl under your skin kind of creepiness to it.
Very cool.
So again, these are things that I can suggest just to watch. And if animation's not really your bag, I think once you get into watching it, the storyline and the voice acting and all of that kind of comes together to suck you in, and you forget that you're watching animated stuff.
I went from the stuff I grew up on, which is as choppy and whatever as hell for anime, which was Gigantor, Tobor the Eighth Man, um, and of course the low point, Kimba the White Lion, and which was just I hated. Anyway, and then all of a sudden the next time I pick up anime is Akira, and I'm like, wow, talk about night and day, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. Akira, that was the one that got me. And well, actually, indirectly, I was into anime as a kid, thanks to Robotech, which I
Oh,
would learn in later years as I was ridiculed by anyone when I said Robotech because I would be attacked by anime people saying it's called Macross, and I'm like, well, I knew it is Robotech, so there. But
hey,
but
whoever gave you shit for it, give me their address. I'll take care of them.
that would be a third of the Bay Area probably when I went to conventions at WonderCon, when WonderCon was in Oakland, California, when it was a respectable show and not bought by a big money company. But anyways,
Yeah,
but
Dang.
yeah, it was Akira and Vampire Hunter D. Those were the two
right.
that were introduced to me by a buddy of mine, Kevin D'Antonio, and he's like,
And
"Oh
night
yeah,
and
you're
day.
gonna love this stuff."
Yeah, night
Well,
and day.
Akira was great because Akira was like it was like a little Blade Runner, a little bit of Scanners in a kind of way.
Yep.
It just brought so many things together that I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting. But then he would show me something else, and I'm like, I can't. This one's not doing it for me. It's like Bubblegum Crisis. I'm like, I get it. Sexy girls who turn into like robot kind of things, but nah, it's not working for me, dude.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You know what's funny is DiCaprio wanted to make a film of Akira for the longest time. He didn't want to be in it, but he wanted to produce it. And I'm just like, I don't know if that would work. Not to mention, it would be so damn expensive. It would be huge.
Yeah,
Probably more expensive than Blade Runner 2049 at that point, just to pull
yeah.
off everything. I
Uh,
know Ghost in the Shell got a lot of grief from people. I thought it was perfectly fine. I didn't mind that movie. I think more people were upset because they claimed it was being whitewashed due to Scarlett Johansson being cast. But even the creator Ghost in the Shell was like, well, anime is not really, even Asian people in a sense, and he was perfectly fine with it. Of course, he could have just been happy with the check, kind
Yo,
of like
that's
when
true
Toby
too.
said all those nice things about Chainsaw 3D. It's a
Yeah.
great movie. It's the best next to my movie. Where's my check? All right, thank you.
Going back to what we were talking about earlier about Batman,
Mhm.
um, Pattinson. We recently watched a movie with him in it called Mickey 17. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not usually a fan of this guy. Like, even from way back when, just watching him in Harry Potter, I think was probably peak for me. Like, okay, you make an okay guy there. And then the Twilight thing came out, and I was like, nope, not doing
Yep.
that at all. And
Yep.
so my daughter and I recently started watching the Twilight series just because, when she's having an off day or whatever, we just want to throw something on to kind of cringe
Because
at.
that's what you do when you're down and depressed. You're like, I'm gonna watch some Twilight. I'm gonna make myself feel worse right now.
Yeah.
No, it's funny to laugh at. And again, we kind of watch them make terrible life choices in this movie that they're stuck in. So watching him in those and then seeing him in Mickey 17, oh my gosh, you want to talk about night and day. Um have you heard about this, Rich?
I have not.
So it is highly sci-fi, and Ricky,
That's
who
fine
does
with
not
me.
like Mark Ruffalo, is that the guy? You don't like that dude?
Yeah, I hate Mark Ruffalo. I hate Mark Ruffalo.
I don't know why.
First time I ever saw Mark Ruffalo was in Collateral, and I love that fucking movie. But he comes in as, oh, I'm the tough, edgy cop with my little goatee and everything and my earring, and I'm just like, who is this putz? I don't like it. This guy's not going to be anything. 5, 6 years later, oh fuck, he's in Marvel movies. He's the Hulk. What the
Exactly.
hell?
There we go.
I like him as Hulk. He's fine. It's not bad.
I liked him in Zodiac.
Okay, I'll give you that. All right, he is good in that. I'll give
Yeah.
you that.
On the other hand, everybody's good in that, so I mean, it's no huge surprise.
And it's David Fincher, so I think it's impossible to not have a good performance in a David
Yeah.
Fincher movie.
Oh, I love his work. I really do.
That sounds like a horror movie. I think it's a horror movie. Zodiac.
Based on a true story though. So based on the Zodiac
Oh, the
killer.
serial killer. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't see it, so wouldn't know. But definitely check out Mickey 17 because not only does he do a phenomenal job, there's some elements that are quirky in it, but you don't anticipate it and you don't think that it's going to be that kind of movie. I kind of wish that they sold it a little better because the trailer for it is not as I don't know. It doesn't set you up really well for it. I think
Yeah.
people
I
need
love
to.
Tony Basil's Hey Mickey, but yeah, don't use it in the trailer for Mickey 17 just because it says Mickey. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
not do that. the,
not the
the
kind of
easiest
vibe you want.
comparison in terms of tone, Rich, I would like you could do Mickey 17 with a double feature with Fifth Element and it would make sense.
Okay.
Yes.
Because both are heavy sci-fi but have these absurd moments of humor that you
Oh
just
yeah.
laugh your butt off at,
Right.
which is
Okay.
why I love
And
the Fifth Element.
yeah, absolutely. That's a really good pairing.
Oh, and it's from the director of Parasite and The Host,
Which was a
Oh,
the
nice
okay.
Victorian movie.
departure from
Yeah,
those,
Yeah.
which again
Yeah.
gives the same kind of energy.
Hmm.
Definitely enjoyable. So I like them.
Okay. Cool. Did did you read anything that about Tremors coming back
No.
no,
Ooh.
is
with
that happening?
Kevin Bacon? It's already been committed to film.
What?
Oh, wow, I
Okay.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yep.
you got to do some research, baby. That's
And
exciting.
and again, you put Tremors on like a basketball, and I'm fine with it. Yeah, good, whatever. I just those were, even the lesser ones were kind of just like fun movies. You know,
Yes.
big monster comes out of nowhere, so it's just a cool premise. But what happened was about 2 to 3 years ago, I heard there is a there's a pilot for a Tremor series, and although it's completely done and it looks really good, we've decided not to go with the series. And I'm like, oh, great, thanks so much. And Fred Ward was signed, and there was talk, not in the opening episode, but there was talk that Kevin Bacon was going to do like 2 of the episodes, 2 of the 4 or however many,
Yeah.
and but that he wasn't going to stay with the series. It was just going to be something he pops in, and that's it. So, and I was like, well, if it's finished, let us see it. Let us see the pilot. You throw it on YouTube. And what finally happened was they decided to go with a new pilot. So they
Okay.
shot a pilot. Kevin Bacon is involved in this one, and that's it. So I guess the first Kevin Bacon one is Vapor, and then now this. It's just like, oh my, come on, man, get it together here. But anyway, it is going to series. Period. It's not a maybe. It's going to be,
It's
and
definitive.
he's
Yay.
committed to do them all. So
That is wild. Yeah, I don't know how I missed that. That
Yeah.
is insane.
and the second I saw
It's
him
been
in the
off.
cowboy hat, it brought the whole thing back. Yep, still him.
Oh,
He doesn't even look a lot older. So I mean, it just
I
works.
mean, what is it? Him and Kurt Russell.
Right, exactly. Yep,
There he
there it
is.
is.
Yeah, that's wild.
I would have liked him to have his hat on though.
He
And then
I'm
does it
sure he probably
in the
will.
thing, yeah, in the stuff that I've seen, he does have his hat on.
Valentine.
Yeah, good old Valentine.
Aw.
Did I tell you how I came to see Tremors, Rich?
No, I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
Sadly, it's because my buddy and I walked out of a Bob Clark movie, a horrible movie called Loose Cannons, a comedy with Gene Hackman and Dan Aykroyd.
I think that's charitable to call it a
Yeah,
comedy.
yeah. We were like, this is really bad, and it was like maybe 30 minutes in, and he was like, I think Tremors starts in like 20 minutes or so. It's like, yeah, let's go do that. So we
Playing some
snuck in
theater.
there.
Yeah. Theater hop.
Let's
Yeah,
try and salvage
and
this day.
yeah, I saw Tremors like 3 times in the theater. I loved it so much.
Yeah,
Such a great movie, man.
Awesome.
So Stampede.
yeah. And then I came to it in a completely bizarre way that my son won tickets. So there was some kind of giveaway. He won 2 tickets, and I think we've discussed this at one point. I have just recently been able to watch snakes on screen. I mean, I was so phobic of
Oh, you had
snakes.
the Indiana Jones thing going on. You're like
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that
snakes.
was
I hate 'em."
yeah, that
Did
was
not
rough.
watch.
So anyway, so in the original trailer for Tremors, they do a lot of showing those things that are in its mouth
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right.
that look like snakes. And I thought,
Mm.
oh, good, my son just just
Got
won
tickets to the
ticket for
snake
the
movie.
snake movie. So to say that I was dragged along is certainly an understatement. I even said to my wife, it was like, I don't want to do this. She says, I know, but he won the tickets and he wants to go. And
He wants to
okay,
go with you.
so I just figured I'd watch I wouldn't wear my glasses, so this way I would just watch it out of focus, and no one would be the wiser. And
That's
then when I
so
actually
funny.
saw the graboids, it was like, oh, I fucking love this. I mean, I love this. And when it was over, both of us enjoyed it, and I have since shown it to my grandson, and I said, this is one of Dad and my favorite movies, movie going experiences. But yeah, I was positive this was a snake movie.
Because the advertising. See?
Yep, yep.
Advertising people. It makes a difference.
Well, you know what it is? I think they didn't want to show the size of the monster. I think they went for those
Oh, they
shots
wanted it to be a
where the
surprise.
snake kind of things are coming towards the camera. So I
Mhm.
think what they wanted to do is stay as cold,
Anonymous about it, yeah.
yeah, as humanly possible, which I actually do respect in a trailer,
Yeah,
considering today's trailers basically
they show you the ending. They
give away
literally show you
everything.
the ending shot.
Yep, yep. So
It's
Terrible.
like, don't you
thankfully,
think you're gonna like the movie? We just showed you the ending, so I'm sure you're gonna
yeah,
love the movie now,
exactly.
right?
So yes, I
Hooray.
have every stinking one of these. If Tremors comes on, and again, they could do the Tremors holiday special. I'm buying it.
Tremors Christmas special.
I'm sure
Yeah,
they're going to
Uh,
now that you've spoken it into existence, Rich.
Interesting tidbit though, baby. The guys who created Tremors, who wrote it, two guys by the name of S. Wilson and Brent Maddock, they actually made another movie you enjoyed. They wrote Short Circuit.
Johnny
Hmm.
Five. I like that guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love Johnny
Actually,
Five.
I'm more of a fan of the second one because I saw the second one first.
I know.
Oscar! Yeah, it's just, it's too
You
much.
will not get away.
Yes. So I know Johnny
Yeah.
Five being this relentless, crazy, crazy robot before he was, almost like an infant.
Part two, though, actually was written and directed by someone else. It was actually done by Kenneth Johnson, who did the TV version of The Incredible Hulk and
and
V.
and yeah, I was going to say, and I think he was associated with V. In fact, he was one of the head honchos with V. I think
Mhm.
did he
Oh yeah, he
co-create it?
created it.
Yeah.
Oh, he
Okay.
created it, yeah, and produced it.
Okay.
And I think he directed the original miniseries, and then they ousted him for V: The Final Battle, unfortunately.
Right.
Huh.
Which is suddenly you have visitor babies and stuff, things that Kenneth was probably like, I'm not doing a visitor baby. We don't need a visitor baby.
Yep. Yep.
It was
You
funny
know
because
that,
a buddy. Oh, go ahead.
no, you know that imaginary line that some people will not cross. This happens to be it for me. So
Like, no V baby,
Visitor
no visitor
baby.
baby. And they're
none.
like, well, fine, sir. Brandon Tartikoff over at NBC was like, then we'll have to go on without you, Kenneth. All right, do what you're gonna do.
Doesn't
It's
surprise
fine.
me.
I wanted to talk about filmmakers who don't necessarily have a vision, and what I mean by that is that it's not like they just walk onto the set and go like, "Hey, we're gonna make a movie." But I mean guys who don't have a visual style in terms of you look at their work and go, oh, okay. It's not like Coppola. You watch a Coppola movie, you can tell it's a Coppola movie. You see a
Right.
Carpenter movie, it's definitely a Carpenter movie. But somehow we were talking about Short Circuit, and I told him, oh, yeah, that's directed by the guy, John Badham, who did Saturday Night Fever. And he's like, get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, yeah. And then I really started thinking about his career. What an insane career. Because you got Short Circuit and Saturday Night Fever, which are polar opposites of one another. Then you
Yep.
got Saturday Night Fever, Blue Thunder, which are polar opposites of one another. Bird on a Wire with Mel Gibson. But we used to have what do they refer to it as, journeymen, right?
Right.
Journeyman writers and journeyman directors who are just so fucking good at their job that even if you don't pick up that it's them, they made great work.
Right.
Hmm.
That's why you got Bill Lancaster writing the screenplay for The Bad News Bears, and at the same time fucking writes John Carpenter's The Thing. You know,
Exactly.
Okay.
huge, like, opposite ends of the spectrum. I mean, if I was in that pitch meeting and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna get the guy who did Bad News Bears," I'd be like, really? Is that
Yeah.
or
Because
vice
it's the
versa? We're
storytelling,
gonna get
right?
the right. We're gonna get the guy who wrote John Carpenter's The Thing to do this comedy about a baseball team. Okay, I guess
Mhm.
maybe, but that's how it was back in the day. Filmmakers were filmmakers. So
Yep.
I think that would be fun though to talk about filmmakers who have just made just a wide eclectic piece of work to where you're like, oh my god, I like at least two of their movies on their list.
Yep. Yep. No, I'm all for that. I do like the journeyman aspect of directors and writers, especially writers. I mean, they basically sit down and give you gold, no matter what the genre or anything else, and you're like, damn.
Right?
That's the kind of stuff that I get jealous about.
Oh, definitely. Like I said, that's
Yeah.
why both with Companion and Bring Her Back in some respects, I was like, fuck, man, I could have came. I remember seeing Relentless. Did you see that movie with Judd Nelson?
Yep.
Directed by William Lustig. It was his opportunity to like kind of go mainstream. And I remember we were watching that, Peter and I, my buddy at the time, and I was like, damn, we could have made this movie. Because it's a serial killer movie. It's the type of movies we love. It's a classier slasher movie, and you actually get to see the killer's faces all. Yeah. And Judd Nelson was so great in that. But uh, I think those are good moments to have as a creative entity where you're almost jealous of another person's work because
Yep.
it makes you strive to be that good. Like, oh yeah, I need to do that. It's the reminder of why, we love this stuff so much,
Yeah. And
like
and
like
people don't realize that when artists get jealous, it's not a negative thing. It's not that they don't, the other person doesn't deserve, it. What it means
Yeah.
is that we just go, wow, that's just such a splendid idea. I wish the fuck that had come out of my head.
Yep. Yep.
yeah, because you want to join them in the sun at that point. It's like Kal-El says in Man of Steel, humans they'll run, they'll stumble, but they'll
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Emotional
good
moments.
line. Good line of dialogue. So all right, I'm good. Think of the shitty Superman movie. Oh yeah, shitty Superman movie.
Bring you back. Bring you back. Like, oh, okay.
Sorry, man. I don't care who shits on it. Man of Steel is a good movie. I don't care what you say.
I
And so
didn't
is The
dislike it
Flash.
at all. I didn't dislike it at all. But again, I go to Superman movies because they come out. That's about it. It's like, all right, well, there's going to be a Superman movie. I'll watch it, but I'm never emotionally invested in it like I am in Batman.
Ah.
Batman, they better fucking get right. So,
So how did you feel about Affleck? Were you fine with him as Batman?
yeah,
Yeah, I thought he was cool. I think he nailed Bruce Wayne really well, probably the
yeah,
best next to Keaton. And he definitely had to admire the physique, man. He worked his ass off to look like Batman.
yeah,
He his exercise routine for that was insane, man. Like the things you see him doing in the movie, when he's having his angsty moment and he's like flipping the giant tires and everything, they really made him. That's how he got that big for that movie. And it's
right.
like, holy crap. And there's some great moments in Batman v Superman. So, aside from the stupid Martha thing, I still want to know. David Goyer is a very competent writer. The man's extremely prolific, man. He wrote for Full Moon movies. He's written so much, and how is he sitting around going, "What's the connection between Soup and Batsy?"
Mm,
Wait a minute, Martha. Their mother's names were both. Why didn't I ever think of that? Where was someone to go, Dave? That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
exactly. Yeah,
You're telling me he's gonna not kill Superman, or yeah, he's not gonna kill Superman, who he is really dedicated to the belief of this guy is an alien who could burn the world down. He's gonna stop because it's like Martha. Why'd you say Martha? It's my
yeah,
mother's
exactly.
name. Oh, this is horrible. I can't believe I'm doing this. No, it just can't be Lois saying, no, don't kill him. He's good, or whatever you wanted to fucking come up with, but you have to do that. That's the low point of that movie.
Yeah,
The
I
high
agree.
point, I think, is still at the dinner party or the press party. And Lex introduces, Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne. I think I love that scene. That is so great.
Yeah,
I just the piss and match between Clark and Bruce is so great, because Affleck is so fucking cool. He's like, you write a puff piece about an alien who could burn the world down. Just the way he delivered that line, I'm like, oh, you're the shit, man. You're so cool.
yeah.
Yeah, probably,
And
probably. eh, Oh,
and
and the
during,
open, the
yeah,
open when Bruce goes into Gotham, to save people in his building. That scene is some of Snyder's best directing. how Bruce is hauling ass in the SUV, and then he can't get any further, so he runs out. He's trying to get to the building before it goes up. I mean, that is some great stuff, man.
Yes. And I love the fact that Affleck made himself available to to actually to do cameos, because it was like he was the Batman of the time, and he figured, and yes, I know he got a paycheck, but taking that away, he also doesn't need the paycheck, and he just wanted to make sure that there was a consistency. So he showed up in Suicide Squad, and
Yeah.
that whole thing was very cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I love that. I loved the little moment in the Flash at the beginning. We had
absolutely,
almost like a mini Batman movie, which I thought was cool.
yeah,
So and him and Wonder Woman on screen. Come on, man. How can you not like that?
right.
It's so great together. I love that.
Well, anyway, it was great to get back to this.
I know.
Absolutely. I missed it, and we are going to make sure we get back into things to where Monster Kid Fury is back on track,
Mhm.
and we'll definitely talk more about horror next time. So we apologize for any verges and whatnot.
I apologize for nothing.
That's it. Stay defiant, damn it.
Hmm.
So, is there anything else you want to mention or anything about what you're working on, Rich, before we outside of the website?
No,
Or
if you find yourself at a convention, look for me. Maybe I'm there. But other than that, no, I'm perfectly happy just to be with you guys again.
and Hard Edge is still gonna happen. It's still gonna get out there.
Yes.
Joel, if you listen to this, trust me, it will happen. As well as the final draft of Dead Cop, it will happen.
Well, I'm looking
So
forward
thank
to Hard
you.
Edge. I really am.
So am I. If that director would be being so fucking slack and get it done, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. It's like he never made a movie before.
Well,
Ooh.
obviously they don't have the writer finesse, so I don't care as much about the director. It's not that damned important.
We all know the director's the secondary star who gets all the credit.
Mhm.
James
Yeah,
Gunn.
yeah. Bitter, not much.
No.
And one final word, Mr. Gunn, your claim that Snyder's was so much about violence and everything else. Dude, there's a building falling over in your trailer. Are you telling me that entire building, that entire skyscraper, there's not a single human being left? You evacuated everybody in time?
Uh-huh.
I
Go fuck
know.
yourself.
I
Go
know.
fuck yourself.
All right. Well, it was fantastic having this again. I absolutely missed it. And we will catch you guys on the next round. Love you,
All right.
Rich.
Take care. Thank you. Love
See
you.
you in Pittsburgh.
Bye.